going on the air in about a minute. Relax. You get plenty. Relax.
Keep an eye out for youngsters that play. If you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Federal Restaurant Attendant is not only the best Italian and Mexican cuisine, it's the people who care. Give them a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166. Take a look.
Okay, we're coming on. I told you we're coming on. Sorry, guys, I'm talking to my internet audience. Sorry, I was just talking to my radio. Oh, forget it. Republican voters say they view Donald Trump as their strongest candidate. The Obama administration is willing to shut down the government in order to free some more terrorists. And Benjamin Netanyahu pathetically responds to vicious Muslim terror attacks in Jerusalem by installing more security cameras. My name is Howard Riell, and this is Riell Truth. You're listening to the American Freedom Network, streaming live around the world at AmericanNewsNet.com and on Facebook and YouTube and Tumblr, and in the book Riell Truth, Stay Angry. And, of course, as always, broadcasting out across the Colorado Front Range on KHNC, Johnstown, Colorado, 1360 AM The Lion. Our call-in number is 877-254-7524. My friends, welcome back. Let's hit it running. Item from Jews News. The Obama administration announced this week that the president plans to veto a defense authorization bill if it does not shut down Guantanamo Bay. According to Breitbart, White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest told reporters that the bill would be vetoed, quote, principally because of the irresponsible way it funds our national defense priorities, but also because of the efforts to prevent the closure of the prison at Guantanamo Bay, unquote. Earnest went on to say Democrats would then back up Obama's veto, and the defense bill that was meant to help our soldiers would die, unquote. So will our soldiers, but Obama doesn't care. Obama said the first thing he did when he took office would be to close Guantanamo Bay. Here we are 7 years later, and he's still squawking about the fact that other people aren't closing Guantanamo Bay. Well, all they have in Guantanamo Bay are terrorists, people who either have or will commit acts of terror. So if they want to shut down Guantanamo Bay prison, that's okay with me as long as they open Guantanamo Bay Cemetery. Item from Reuters. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has raised the possibility of revoking benefits and travel rights of some Palestinians living in East Jerusalem in response to a wave of Palestinian violence, a government official said on Monday. Stop. Folks, this is one of two articles I'm going to be relating to you about Benjamin Netanyahu and his pathetic, weak, abject fear response to these brazen stabbings in Jerusalem, the ongoing terrorism against Jews by Palestinian Muslims, been going on since the 1800s. Reached a crescendo in the 1920s and 30s. In the 40s, of course, the head Palestinian, the Husseini whatever, traveled to Germany to work closely with Adolf Hitler, Yamach Shemo. And now it continues, and Benjamin Netanyahu, the hawk, the right-winger, the real hardline guy, continues to run his policy like he is like an interior decorator. He's not really doing anything to safeguard Jewish lives. He's playing politics. He's cozying up to the State Department. He wants to play nice with the international powers that be, which I suppose would be okay if the international powers that be didn't desire the destruction of Israel and the death of the Jewish people. I've said this on the show many times, my friends. Check the archives, see if I'm lying to you. Benjamin Netanyahu, if he's going to be a man, if he's going to be a leader, needs to get up off his belly and stop begging the world's organizations to allow him to defend his people. There's only one thing that will prevent Palestinians from killing Israelis, and that is to transfer the Palestinians out. All right, well, the second thing would be to kill them, but that's step two. Item from WashingtonExaminer.com. An overwhelming majority of American voters think the country's headed down the wrong path, according to a new public opinion survey commissioned by Clout Research. The new poll of about 800 likely voters found only 9 out of 100 Republicans and 15 of 100 independents believe the country is going in the right direction. A little over 50% of self-identified Democrats believe the country is taking a turn for the worst, while 83.9% of independents and 87.4% of Republicans hold the same belief. Unquote. My friends, my question is for the 9 out of 100 Republicans and 15 out of 100 independents who think the country's going in the right direction. Why are you off your meds? Go back to the doctor, take those pills. Item from barenakedislam.com. According to an editorial comment in the German newspaper Westfalen-Blatt, police are refusing to go public about crimes involving refugees and migrants because they don't want to give legitimacy to critics of mass migration. As a result, one recent rape was hushed up by the police for nearly 3 months, leaving other potential victims ignorant of the danger. A 13-year-old Muslim girl was raped by another asylum seeker at a refugee facility in Detmold, a city in west-central Germany. The girl and her mother reportedly fled their homeland to escape a culture of sexual violence. Approximately 80%. Stop! My friends, I don't care if you're Muslim or not. If you have a brain, number one, you don't take children on a long trek to a foreign country. Number two, if you're seeking safety and security, are you really going to go to Germany, the home of the Holocaust and the Nazis? Is that really where you're going to go? Good, as long as they go there instead of here. Item from the Allgemeiner.com amid a flurry of criticism directed at social networking giant Facebook over its policing or lack thereof of anti-Israel and anti-Semitic hate. A staunchly pro-Israel article by a renowned personality has mysteriously been wiped from the network's pages. The article, entitled "Things We Need to Stop Hearing About the Stabbing Intifada," was penned by famed French philosopher and activist Bernard-Henri Lévy and published exclusively by the Allgemeiner on Wednesday. In it, Lévy refers in passing to the popular use of Facebook as a tool for Islamists to build support for their cause, and highlights a slew of injustices surrounding the latest wave of Palestinian stabbing attacks against Israeli Jews sweeping the Holy Land. According to the items, Lévy decries our phrases used to explain or excuse criminal acts against Israeli, the tepid condemnation of the terror from the international community, and that, quote, most of the major media have paid the grieving Israeli families over only a fraction of the attention they've paid the families of the perpetrators, unquote. My friends, we're almost at the break. I'll give it to you real quick. God's listening, and God's watching. And the people who come out on the side of the terrorists and the murderers, well, I'm from Brooklyn, I'll just say it straight. Your asses are grass. We'll be back.
Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Power systems rely on the sun to make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom capabilities as modest as emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirit with an air of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the spirit
death of nobility. Article 1, Section 10.
Oh, it's Monday, all right. There's no mistaking it. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Riell Truth. Howard Riell. The news changes from day to day, but it never seems to get better. Well, here's something better. Donald Trump appeared on the Today Show, and while I don't watch junk like the Today Show, I do watch it when Donald Trump is on because he's got things that are worth hearing. Let's listen. Well, that was a pretty easy question. It's so easy, even a Democrat. Well, maybe it's not that easy, but anybody with half a brain could answer that question. Item from the Associated Press. Dayline Washington, Republican voters view Donald Trump as the strongest general election candidate, according to an Associated Press GFK poll that highlights the sharp contrast between the party's voters and its top professionals regarding the billionaire businessman's ultimate political strength. 7 in 10 Republican and Republican-leaning registered voters say Trump could win in November 2016 if he's nominated, and that's the most who say so of any candidate. By comparison, 6 in 10 say the same for retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson, who, like Trump, has tapped into the powerful wave of anti-establishment anger defining the early phases of the 2016 contest. It's the lifelong establishment politicians on both sides that rub me the wrong way, said registered Republican Joe Selig, a 60-year-old carpenter from Vallejo, California. I think Trump is more electable. He's strong. We need strength these days, unquote. Absolutely correct. Someone was asking whether or not Trump is not nice enough to be president. Believe me, number one, nice doesn't enter into it when you're the president, any more than nice enters into it when you call a plumber. Do you care if the plumber's nice? If he fixes the plumbing, that's what we would need. And we need a chief executive to run the country, nice or not. Number two, don't live under the illusion that politicians in general are nice people. They're ambitious, power-hungry, wheeling-dealing, usually not afraid to go illegal people. Okay? They're not nice people. I've known politicians. They're not nice people. So if you think to yourself, Trump isn't nice, I'm not going to vote for him, time to wake up. Time to grow up. We need a leader in this country. Is he nice? I don't care, because he's not inviting me to his home, so I'm not going to have to. Item from the PCGraveyard.com. Corona del Sol High School in Tempe, Arizona apparently has a problem with the United States. The school newspaper reports, if you wear red, white, or blue, or a Trump hat, or anything patriotic, you will not be allowed into a football game. Unquote. My friends, this is a chilling news item because it shows that America's soul is dying. America's soul is dying. And you've seen news items like this over the past few years. Kids wearing t-shirts with the American flag on it, told to go home and change their shirts. It's terrible. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's tragic. It's like a once powerful giant gasping for breath. What the hell's wrong with us? And among those with whom something is wrong, I got to tell you once again, for the umpteenth time, it's school officials who are the most brain dead. Liberal teachers and school administrators think that the United States is their enemy. Well, folks, if you really think that way, feel free to get the hell out and live elsewhere. Item from the Agence France Presse, Dateline Jerusalem. A wave of stabbings left 2 Israelis wounded and an alleged Palestinian attacker dead Sunday as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu agreed to install more security cameras at the Flashpoint Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in a bid to diffuse tensions. Unquote. My friends, if I may weigh in with an opinion, and I may because it's my show, right? You can't stop it. You want to diffuse tensions? You want to keep Muslims from killing Jews and Jews from having to arrest and pen up Muslims? Great. I've got the answer. Transfer the Palestinians out of Israel. No more terror attacks. No more Palestinians getting arrested or shot or clubbed or anything like that. What do we do with the Al-Aqsa Mosque? Well, that's a good question. I seem to remember that they have bulldozers in Israel. Send a few of them up there, bulldoze the building, take the debris that's left, drop in a garbage dump, and while you're at it, rebuild the temple. Couldn't hurt. Item from the Wall Street Journal. Obamacare's image of invincibility is increasingly being exposed as a political illusion, at least for those with permission to be honest about the evidence. Witness the heretofore unknown phenomenon of a, quote, free entitlement that its beneficiaries can't afford or don't want. This month, the Health and Human Services Department dramatically discounted its internal estimate of how many people will join the state insurance exchanges in 2016. There are about 9.1 million enrollees today, and the census estimate by the Congressional Budget Office, the Medicare Actuary, and independent analysts like Rand Corp was that participation would surge to some 20 million. But HHS now expects enrollment to grow between merely 9.4 and 11.4 million. Recruitment for 2015 is roughly 70% of the original projection, but Obamacare will be running at less than half its goal in 2016. HHS believes some 19 million Americans earn too much for Medicaid, but qualify for Obamacare subsidies and haven't signed up. Some 8.5 million of that 19 million purchase off-exchange private coverage with their own money, while the other 10.5 million are still uninsured. In other words, for every person who's allowed to join and has, 2 people haven't. Unquote. Folks, that's because Obamacare is yet another and perhaps the greatest of Obama's major disaster policy foul-ups during his tenure as the president. I say one of the greatest foul-ups because importing hundreds of thousands of Muslims will end up being and not shutting our border with Mexico, immigration will end up being the greatest disaster visited on this country by Obama. But then again, there are lots of candidates for that honor. Item from Reuters. A dual U.S.-Iranian Oh, stop. I left out the Iranian nuclear deal. I apologize. From Reuters, a dual U.S.-Iranian citizen apologized on Friday for exporting sensitive information about U.S. military jets to his native Iran, saying he was simply applying for a job. before a judge sentenced him to 8 years and 1 month in prison. Mozaffar Kazai, who had worked as an engineer at U.S. defense contractor Pratt & Whitney, was arrested in January 2014 as he tried to leave the country with sensitive material about the engines for the U.S. Air Force's F-35 Joint Strike Fighter and F-22 Raptor aircraft in his luggage. Unquote. Once again, for the umpteenth time, we see Muslims cannot be trusted in sensitive positions, whether it's law enforcement or positions relating to national security. So they should not be allowed in those positions. And while we're at it, they should not be allowed any longer in the United States. Item from the BBC.com. Australian-born academic and writer Germaine Greer has said that in her opinion, transgender women are, quote, not women, unquote. She also claims that, quote, a great many women who are not transgender think transgender women, whom she refers to as male to female transgender people, do not, quote, look like, sound, or behave like women, unquote. Greer did say she'd be prepared to use female pronouns when referring to someone if that was their preference as a courtesy, unquote. My friends, I will too. If there's a man who's become a woman, I am much more than happy to say she needs a neck-up checkup. Item from PoliticusUSA.com. Just 24 hours after Jeb Bush downsized his campaign to fit his struggle in the polls, Bush tells America if they want to elect Trump, go right ahead. Jeb Bush has better things to do than sit around and be demonized. Speaking in South Carolina, Jeb Bush said via CNN's Jake Tapper, quote, if this election is about how we're going to fight to get nothing done, then I don't want anything. I don't want any part of it. I don't want to be elected president to sit around and see gridlock just become so dominant that people literally are in decline in their lives, unquote. Mr. Bush, time to shut up. Item from Jews News. The Islamic State social networking site has a photo showing a child holding a severed head amid a gathering of other children, which was tweeted and went viral with an attached phrase that said, quote, this is how the cubs of the caliphate are raised up, unquote, boasting of this heinous attack. It should be noted, it's not the first time such boasts are being made in which the heads of victims are being carried by children. An Australian Muslim child held in his hands the heads of severed Syrian troops. The head of the Sharia judge of the General Brigade's Hawks of Sham had been carried by children after ISIS killed him. This image comes after the disclosure that the children are being trained to kill in the name of religion in the framework of the preparation of the Islamic State raising a generation of fighters to rid the world of, quote, infidels, unquote. My friends, speaking as an infidel, it's time for the infidels to wake up, stand up, get the hell rid of Islam. Item from ABC News. Several dozen suspected terrorist bomb makers, including some believed to have targeted American troops, may have mistakenly been allowed to move to the United States as war refugees, according to FBI agents investigating the remnants of roadside bombs recovered from Iraq and Afghanistan. Stop. My friends, I have good reason to believe that that statement is a lie. I don't believe anything was done mistakenly. Item from CBS News via AP. A Queens man has been charged after he allegedly shoved 2 flight attendants, punched a third attendant, and threatened to blow up the plane during a flight from New York City to South Florida. Elijah Kushik, 29, of Middle Village in Queens, New York, is facing federal charges of interfering with a flight attendant and threatening to destroy an aircraft. He's jailed in Palm Beach County pending a bond hearing Monday in federal court in West Palm Beach. Kushik, a Muslim immigrant from Albania, was aboard JetBlue Airlines Flight 153 from New York's JFK to Palm Beach International Airport Thursday night. Investigators said around 8 p.m., just after the flight leveled off after its ascent. FBI agents said a male flight attendant was preparing food and drink in the rear of the plane. The attendant, Whitney Raleigh, was also monitoring the aisles as he worked, authorities said. Raleigh observed Elijah Kushik running down the single aisle of the aircraft and pushed 2 flight attendants on his way to Whitney Raleigh, FBI Special Agent Robert McGuire wrote in his report. The attendant tried to get Kushik to calm down by asking what was the matter with him, but Kushik pushed him into a door and punched the victim in the face Witnesses told the agent, unquote. My friends, as long as we have Muslims flying, we will not have friendly skies. We'll be back.
If catastrophe struck with your family, be prepared. Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Paris Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Paris Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Paris Survival. Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom tailored capabilities as modest as emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to greatplains.solar.com.
The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
All right, guys, welcome back to Howard Riell's radio show. That's how most people refer to it. It's called Riell Truth. Fox News Sunday, Donald Trump. Here we go. All right, we're going to stop there, my friends. You can find this, by the way, on my Facebook page, Riell Truth Radio. I recommend you go there just for the heck of it. You'll come away knowing a lot more than you knew before you got there. Item from the Huffington Post. Michigan Governor Rick Snyder, Republican, on Tuesday signed a set of bills designed to reform the controversial practice of civil asset forfeiture, which allows police to permanently seize cash and property such as houses, vehicles, and jewelry without ever charging the owner with a crime. Under previous rules, police could seize property if a preponderance of the evidence indicated it was tied to criminal activity, meaning police simply had to show that the property was more likely than not linked to crime. Unquote. My friends, I've been talking about this for a long time. It is legal theft, and perhaps it even helps answer the question why people are shooting cops these days. Item from Sharia Unveiled. A male refugee in an asylum center in Tingsryd municipality in Sweden on Tuesday raped a 3-year-old child. The asylum center learned about the rape during the day and, in collaboration with the Swedish Migration Board, has decided to move the man from the accommodation to protect him. Stop. My friends, does it strike you that the rapist of a 3-year-old girl needs protection? I'd say he needs to be dead. Item from Jews News. The State Department is now offering a cash reward of $5 million for information on the whereabouts of former Guantanamo Bay detainee Ibrahim al-Rubeish. How many other mistakes like this have been made with these Gitmo releases? Obama's been releasing terrorists from Gitmo who openly state they will return to their jihadist brethren to attack us once again. Unquote. Is it that Barack Obama doesn't know this is going to happen, or that Barack Obama wants this to happen? You know the truth. We'll be back. All right, guys, I'm done. I'm going to put this up on the internet. Watch it again. Bears repeating, right? Share it with people. Talk about it. You know how this stuff goes, okay? Tune into the show. Tell other people about the show. Why should they be lacking the education that you're receiving for free every day? Hasta luego.